Good evening, interwebs. Tis I, Sebastian from InvestComics.com, and this is FIC, another Seanless FIC, because Sean felt sick and he went home. I've got a 1,000-piece Justice League puzzle with it's got like this much of a section with the Wahaha League. So I've got a Justice League puzzle that has Booster Gold, Blue Beetle, and even look, there's all the different leagues of this vibe, and I just bought it more for the background leagues than for the front leagues. I already have this poster. Now I have this puzzle. Why? Because one of the other chances I was ever going to get another puzzle with Vibe or Blue Beetle or Booster Gold on it. Any of them individually. Minimal. All three together. Awesome! Alright, so that's the greatest puzzle you'll ever need to know about. Now, first up on the list, we got Forever Evil #2 is good. It's not great. I really like it, but I don't know. Some of the subtle nuances of Lex Luthor are kind of lost in this. He's a bit more standard psychopath than subtle, misunderstood, I want to save the world, but I do it my way kind of guy. Oh, and I don't like aliens. It does reveal two heroes who make it out of wherever the heck they put the other heroes. We finally get the answer to who's going to be who's the Batman that's running around. The Teen Titans are there for like a second and a half, and still it's better than their entire series so far in the New 52. Bizarro gets a new reason for a name. He's subject B0. I also, however, I didn't like, there was no explanation for the backwards S. Suddenly he's just in a shirt. I don't know why Lex Luthor would make a backwards S just to, it doesn't seem like a Lex Luthor thing. We don't see Bizarro making his own shirt, so I don't know why he's got the backwards S. They just do it because he's, I guess, because he's Bizarro. They do make mention, we now know why Lex wanted to buy Cord Industries. Cord was developing non-lethal weaponry, including a flash gun that was potentially the most powerful mobile solar engine in the world. That's the BB gun, once known as the most useless weapon in the world, now the most powerful portable solar engine in the world, which also could come in quite handy if you're fighting a Ultraman who seems to lose his powers in the sun as opposed to gain his powers from the sun like Superman does. I don't understand why Lex would want such a weapon if it actually gives power to the guy he really wants to fight, which is Superman. He didn't know Ultraman was coming. Why would he want a weapon that would technically make Superman stronger? What I do know is this leaves great potential for what will never happen. This leaves great potential for Ted Kord to show up with the BB gun and take down Ultraman. And it's not going to happen, but you're lucky the camera doesn't show what's going on under the table just from me thinking about it. Yeah, Ted Kord, Ultraman. What? Wahaha, Earth 3, motherfucker. Yeah, that'd be awesome. Also, the mother reminded me, let me throw out a review for Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Episode 2, which we watched at Cinema World, because we always watch those at the movie theater. Big screen. The only way you should see Agent Coulson is on the big screen. And this episode was a lot of fun. It was very awesome. And it had a very Firefly feel. Maybe because they kept hanging out in the cargo hold of a ship and while throwing out Joss Whedon lines. I don't know. But it just had a whole lot of... In my heads, I kept assigning people who, which one of the Firefly cast you would be. Some of them double up, and some of them are kind of split oddly. But, great cameo if you haven't seen it by now. Spoiler. Yeah, Nick Fury shows up, chews out Coulson at the end, talks to me about authority. Oh, just so good. Kill the fish tank. Gotta love it. It's just a lot of fun. I mean, it's not. I don't know. It's the second Joss Whedon show I've liked, because the only other one I liked was Firefly. I didn't like Buffy. Sorry, Internet. I don't know what to tell you. Dollhouse. I tried several times. I just couldn't do it. I guess I like Dr. Horrible. But that's not really a TV show. That was a little mini thing on Das Interwebs. And I'd love to see more of that. But But yeah, so this is good. Watch it. Infinity the Hunt by Matt Kindt is number 2. It's okay. I like some of these Latvian students. I like what I don't know who Crimson was, and I guess it doesn't matter now. I still think they're missing. I love Quentin Quire. I love him in Jason Aaron's Wolverine and the X-Men. They're missing something here. Kind of like they missed something on the, they missed the mark on Speedball in Nova last week. They're missing the mark on Quentin Quire, and it's just not doing it 100% for me. But it's okay. It's a bit all over, but it's okay. The Black Bat is meh. Black Bat number 6 is meh. There, a little more specific. Grimm Fairy Tales Realm Knights number 2. I like this. I like number 1. I like number 2. It's like the Grimm Fairy Tales team book. It's their Justice League. These guys get together and are taking on basically they're taking on Cronus, because the gods for the most part have left, although we're going to get some Neptune next issue, but the gods for the most part have left after everything became a mess with Unleashed, and then Cronus has been just making a mess of things, and these guys had to step up to it, and I like it. It's got Snow White, Sela from the main Grimm Fairy Tales, the librarian who gets the view of everything. It's got Captain Hook. It's got Robin Hood, that I also love. It's got Red Riding Hood, that I'm okay with, but I don't love as much. But it's been really good. Robin Hood number 4. This is good. I like this series. The new sheriff. He's new old. It's when one of your enemies, one of your old enemies, replaces one of your new enemies to become your old new enemy. That's like twice the enemy in one person. So Robin's got some problems there. We get some praise for Friar Tuck. In fact, the only flaw I see in this is I don't know if it's planned that way or if it's just an artist thing, but Friar Tuck looks about 14, and considering one of the other characters talks about how Friar Tuck took him in when he was an orphan at the age of 7, I don't understand how he actually looks not even the same age. He looks a little bit younger than the kid he took in, so I don't understand how that worked. But other than that, that's the only flaw in this, because I loved the first series. I'm loving this, and it's très bien. Codename Action number 2. This is sort of a James Bondy Captain Action in the Dynamite world, and in this issue we get some of the heroes. We get well, there's a handful of them on the cover, but really we get Green Hornet and Kato in here, and it's good. It's spies and superheroes and people replacing important government leaders, and you get a triple replacement when they figure out one of the guys, or they actually kind of set it up so that one of the guys, a senator who may not have been on the list to be replaced, is now on the list to be replaced. Then they replace that senator, so that when the people who want to replace that senator in the first place come and kidnap him, they actually kidnap one of the spies. Yeah, it's as much fun to explain as it is to read. It's good. I like this. The Mocking Dead number 2. This is really fun. The idea being that there's a zombie outbreak, and it actually mimics everything is the way the zombies behave and are acting follows this one obscure movie that no one can find an original copy of anymore, called The Mocking Dead. So these people have been called in as specialists to try and, based on this movie, come up with ways to stop the zombies. And of course the military tweaks the plans and things go horrible. There's some great emails in here from people as the main guy is trying to find a copy of this, and it's got a lot of geek references. It's good. It's fun. It's funny, but it's still a serious zombie with a lighter take on, but not making it like a farce or a joke. It's still but some of the moments have some lighter beats to it. Pretty good. Green Arrow number 24. I like it. I like Lemire's Arrow. I like Andrea Sorrentino's art. It is good. Green Arrow's kind of a mess at the moment because Count Vertigo messed with his inner ear, and they don't even know how permanent the damage may or may not be. But sometimes, you just got to focus through, and literally, it's well done. In fact, the style on the art and just the way it's written, I'm now putting Green Arrow. I'm going to go there. I'm going to say DC's Green Arrow is now as much of my favorite and as stylized and interesting as Marvel's Hawkeye. I'd put them on a par right now, which is cool because it's just a good time to be an archer in a comic book. Shadow Man number 11. I didn't get the one with the mask cover because it is pre-perforated and just keeps popping out, and I'd lose the mask and have a face-shaped hole in my cover, and it would just make me nuts. But this is really good. Again, we've discussed before, Valiant can do no wrong, and we'll get to them even better on Quantum and Woody later. But you've got the new version of Dr. Mirage in here, very hero for hire with Dr. Mirage. You've got you've got Halloween in New Orleans. Obnoxious drunk frat boys getting taken over by minor spirits, and Dr. Mirage and Shadow Man to the rescue. Lots of fun, very good. Suicide Risk number 6. I'm going to do a trade in the middle because I'm not going to wait till the end. Suicide Risk number 6. I love this book. Trade $9.99. Gets you like the first 4. Does it say on the back? No. That would have to make me look at stuff. Originally published as Suicide Risk number 1 through 4. You get powers. They may kill you. You get powers from dealers on the street. But there's more to it going on, and people are starting to find out. There's a character in this issue called JAF. They call her Jeff. For Just a Feeling. She's like a precog, pseudo-telepath-esque, who, that's what she goes with. It's just a feeling I get. And I get this feeling more often than it turns out to be accurate. And she just follows those. You get a badass team that, there's just, in this, you get a badass team of bad guys. The first 4 issues, read this, it's awesome. This, number 6 here, they come after our main guy. They come after Leo, and he's forced into making a promise and then finding out what it is they just had him promise doing. And yeah, they want to take over their own little country for superpowers, but they're kind of dicks. But he's now bound to them, otherwise a demon gets his soul. Because sometimes that happens. Just great. It's just great. Just read that. It's just great. Shadow Now number 1 is okay. I liked it. I thought the Shadow sounded a little less sure of himself and all-knowing, mystical, shadowy than usual. His narrative is much more normal guy. The idea being that he's again gone off to meditate and has now come back doing the shadow thing that he does best. He's now playing his own grandson, adding a third onto his secret identity. So he's, what the hell's the Shadow's real name? Cranston, whatever the hell. Yeah, the third now. And he comes back, having not aged, takes over his own, inherits his own estate, and is now going back to the Shadow. But being the Shadow in the 30s and being the Shadow in 2013 is very different, and he's working on the nuances. My favorite Dynamite series, Pathfinder's Goblins number 3. This issue, I really like the second story, which is The Way of the Goblins by Ray Fawkes. So good. The first story was okay. Ron Mars wrote it. I liked it. It just wasn't. It wasn't as good as the first 2 issues or the second story in this one. And that even could be me. I didn't know he wrote it till I looked up afterwards, but I'm not a huge Ron Mars fan, so I wasn't surprised that it wasn't my favorite. It was okay, but it wasn't great. Those guys are loud. Green Hornet number 6, Mark Waid's Green Hornet. It's good. They're back on track, but it may be too late for our reunited heroes to fix the ever-deepening quagmire that they have sunk into. But it's good. I mean, it's Mark Waid, and Mark Waid can write the hell out of anything, so that's good. Mighty Avengers number 2. We continue to see an annoyed Superior Spider-Man, and we've got we get the Watcher shows up at the Blue Marvel's house, and the Blue Marvel finds out he knows what a level 7 threat is, but he's never actually encountered one. And then by the end, we've got a level 8, as Doctor Strange is not quite feeling himself and doing some, if you'll pardon the pun, strange things. So yeah, so now you've got, next issue you're going to have it looks like Luke Cage, Superior Spider-Man, and Spider Hero versus a level 8 threat. Blue Marvel will be teaming up with them. He shows up for that moment. Meanwhile, Spectrum, otherwise known as Captain Marvel, Monica Rambeau, is currently dealing with some problems of her own because she got shanked with some black light, and that's problematic. But this is good. I know, again, there's always the, there's whether or not you like Greg Land. I don't really care one way or the other. I like the story. Who's writing this? I don't know who Al Ewing is, but I'm liking the story, so I'm good with it. Absolution #4. Christos Gage, Absolution Rubicon #4. Oh my. Oh, this is good. This is, I mean, I loved the first one. I love anything Christos Gage writes. But this is intense, and it ends with a bang, and the 5th issue is the last issue, and I'm dying to know what the hell happens. So this is like really, really, really good. All New X-Men Special #1. I read this simply because it's Doc Ock as Doc Ock, and even Superior Spider-Man is very confused. The art is really cool. It's very stylized. Chris Anka, I don't know who that is, but I love it. You get Doc Ock. Spidey is just, this is not Doc Ock. He refuses, and he apparently, despite everything that goes on in the Marvel Universe, apparently Doc Ock, brilliant mind that he is, our Doc Ock, Superior Spider-Man Doc Ock, still doesn't believe in time travel. I don't know how that's possible in the Marvel Universe, especially since right now the Marvel Universe is falling apart because they broke the world with time travel, and because clearly this takes place after the events of Age of Ultron, where they broke everything with the time travel, and they have to travel and back and forth. So you'd think they'd know, but whatever. But of course he's standing there with the young X-Men and realizing, oh crap, you guys are, you guys have traveled in time. So there's a gamma irradiated, not hulking out, just radiation sickness, gamma irradiated Doc Ock running around the present, who may or may not have come from the past. And either way, Superior Spidey wants to know about it. So of course, this is the issue where they meet and have to fight Doc Ock, Spidey and the X-Men. And this will tie into, next is going to be Indestructible Hulk special, in which Superior Spidey, the X-Men, and the Hulk are now studying into, because it's all the gamma radiation, so who do you call? Dr. Banner. And then the last one will be, I think will be Superior Spider-Man special, where they continue finding out what the hell is the deal with Doc Ock being around, when we know it can't be, because Doc Ock is in Superior Spidey. But time's broken, so who knows where the hell he came from. Battle of the X-Men. Speaking of broken time, we find out the truth behind the X-Men of the future, who have an agenda other than what they said, because there's other X-Men in the future. You get Future Colossus with the greatest, pirate porn stash ever in metal. In fact, somebody even points out, it may be Iceman, people still grow mustaches like that in the future, and I think that's a brilliant statement. You find out why people are doing, and it's just, there's nothing ever more touching than any form of Colossus getting a reunion with Ileana. He's just so happy, and it's a lot of fun. I'm liking this particular crossover. Green Lanterns #24, Lights Out Part 1. I personally don't like it.
It's another event.
I mean, I'm Green Lantern evented out, and I'm Green Lantern. There's always a problem with the power battery, and there's always something happening with the lights, and there's always something happening with and I'm tired. I'm just tired. I don't know about this issue because Sean's not here. I know he's liked it so far. I mean, I love Robert Venditti. The stories themselves, they're written well. I just can't commit to any more of these Lantern events. I just can't. I can't go on. I can't do it. I don't have the willpower. Not a Green Lantern. I'm not angry at it. No rage. And I hope that it gets better. So I guess maybe Blue Lantern, but they don't exist anymore. I don't know. I'm just like a Gray Lantern. Meh. That's an inside joke around here. The Movement number 5. I still love this book. I still love Mouse, the Prince of All Rats. I love this character. I just, this book is great, and it's not getting the recognition that it should. It's not getting the praise that it should. It's well written. It's political in so much as the characters are politically motivated, but it's, you know, Gail Simone writes it well rounded. So even though the characters have an agenda, not everyone on any side fully, you know, it's not like a left wing, right wing. There are people who see merits and flaws in both sides. You know, some people say, well, we want this to happen, but I don't want to go that far to do it. And other people who are like, well, we want this to happen, but I don't want to go that far to do it. And other people who I want to go all the way over here to make sure that this happens. I want to go all the way. So it's you know,
a lot of gray.
Yeah, and it's not tying in with specific, you know, it's not one where, oh, they're taking shots at, you know, Republicans, or, oh, they're making Democrats look this way. You know, it's not our politics, it's DCU politics. So, you know, you can relate to the frustrations of either side, but, you know, you don't have to feel as polarized, or, you know, it's not picking on you. You know what I'm saying? And that's a hard balance to maintain with anything. So it's good. Even, you know, you've got, you know, members of either side, the movement themselves and the powers that be, who kind of fall towards the middle. One of the heroes on this side is leaving because I don't agree with what you're doing right there. So and vice versa. You've got people going, no, I understand why we're doing. So it's very, very good. Batwing number 24, Palmiotti and Gray continue with the new Batwing. I like it, but you knew I was going to say that because it's Palmiotti and Gray, and I love them. So that's my review. It's good, and he's got the armor functions to a certain degree on a as you can tell by this cover. It makes you think very much of the Batman Beyond, yeah, the McGinnis, you know, and it's also works like it because he's always calling in to Bruce, so you've got like a Batman Beyond in the now kind of thing. You know, DC's got Batman Beyond as its own comic, so there's a lot of nods to Batman Beyond going on, but this is definitely, you know, it's its own thing. This issue gets really, really well done because we've had the back and forth with Luke as he's, you know, oh, how do I balance my Batwing time with my, you know, family time? But in the middle, his ex-girlfriend's father dies, and he manages to stand by her. So we get some good characterization, and it's just well done. But it's Palmiotti and Gray. That's what they do. This gave me some holy shit moments. Earth 2 number 16. Yeah, we get Steppenwolf for a while. Then we get Steppenwolf, not so much, as some bad things happen to him from his own side. But I don't know. There's a reveal in here. I'll spoil it for you, so because I can't review this without spoiling. So if you don't want to spoil, skip ahead. I'll give you, you know, till 5. All right. His one agent, I forget what his name was. Steppenwolf's badass ass kicker of doom, Brutal, rips Steppenwolf in half, and then pulls his own mask off, and it's Earth 2 Superman. Very apocalypsized and very clearly with a new agenda.
It's on the dark side.
But he's, but we just saw him in one of the Earth 2 annuals there. I mean, not Earth 2 annuals, the Earth 2 Villains Month or whatever. And we got a hint that Superman seemed to be alive and on Apokolips. These guys haven't been back to Apokolips, so I don't know how the hell they got Brutal. If it's a clone, a son of Superman, real Superman is on Apokolips. I'm not sure what's going on. But either way, it's and makes me wonder how well any of this is going to translate post James Robinson, as he's going to be leaving the book. So it's still great at the moment, and I'm dying to see where it goes. And I hope that the new guy that's doing the super DC superhero video game, we all kill each other, Injustice comic. I hope he can keep up with this. Swamp Thing number 24, the face of Cedar revealed. Ooh, I'll spoil that too. It's the Floronic Man. All right, he's the Cedar. All right, it's what the hell's his real name? I don't remember his real name. But yeah, it's the Floronic Man who's shown up, and we saw him in the annual, and he kind of helped out, and they gave him powers. But he's not the Avatar, so he doesn't really feel. He's apparently not completely. Yeah, it's Jason Woodrow. That's it. Jason Woodrow is the Floronic Man. He's Cedar, and while he can do all these things, and he's got the right intentions, he's not the Avatar, so he can't feel what he's doing. He makes plants grow here where there's no plants to maintain the balance. An entire ecosystem of kelp dies, off over here, and he had no idea about any of that. But right now, the title for Avatar is up in the air, and we're gonna have a showdown for that because the Parliament of Trees decides, yeah, you're right. You might be a better one than Alec. So yeah, okay, fine. It's a contest showdown. Jason Woodrow versus Alec Holland to see who's gonna be the new the Avatar. And Alec's not happy about it. The Swamp Thing is not happy. Really, really well done, and it's Charles Soule. I don't know how you say his name. I just know that I love everything he's on. He's gonna be speaking. He writes some good green characters. He's gonna be doing She-Hulk over at Marvel. The guy's doing like 1 billion books right now, and I couldn't be happier because the man can write. Pure awesome. This is issue number 4 of my new favorite Marvel book. The Superior Foes of Spider-Man. None of these characters should be in my favorite book. Up till now, I have never liked anything Nick Spencer wrote. I don't like Morning Glories. I've tried anything else that he's done, and it's just never worked for me. His Cloak and Dagger was okay, but it missed the Cloak and Dagger mark. But this is awesome. This is the greatest thing Marvel has right now. And, I would put this, if I had to do it, I would be bold enough to say, if you gave me a pile and said, this week, Superior Foes of Spider-Man came in, but so did Daredevil and Hawkeye, I would read this first, because it's just that good. Oh my God. There's the ending has a real shocker, because there's a shocker in it, but there's an ending. Oh, you get some Luke Cage and you get some Luke Cage and some Iron Fist. You get a fanboy moment as they're beating up one of the members. The guy's like, "Oh, Luke Cage, I'm so honored that you can take this." And Luke Cage pummels him. And Iron Fist is like, "Really?" And he goes, he was creeping me out. And he just has to pummel the guy. He's like, "Hey, it's such an honor. Oh my God, I remember your Fantastic Four run. Not a lot of people know that." Bam! Hits him with a chair. So this is so good. Just read this. Star Wars number 2 was a bit more bounce around than the first issue. This is that based off of the original The Star Wars script from Lucas, so it's all kind of everything old is new again, different, weird, twisty. R2-D2 talks. I think that was the single most jarring thing ever. Although once you get past the initial R2-D2 is speaking, everything he says sounds perfectly like it's what he was saying, and because we still get like 3PO responses to them, but now it sounds like, yeah, based on the responses, I think that's actually what R2 was saying, and now we know. We now get to understand those little chirps and whistles. It actually works brilliantly. It's just kind of weird to see giant word bubble. It's not even like he says like he's got like dialogue coming out, and you're like, what the hell? But it's still good. It just bounced around a bit more than whatever. We meet Princess Leia. She's not apparently related to Luke, and apparently she's going to be a potential interest of Anakin Starkiller, who's not part of the Skywalkers. It's all very complicated, but it's good. Hunger number 3. I don't think I like it. If this is the end of the Ultimate Universe, it's not going out with an ultimate bang. I'll tell you that. It's going out with an ultimate huh. And Rick Jones is if they're going to lose the Ultimate Universe, then Rick Jones is being set up to be the biggest failure in the Ultimate Universe. And considering the Ultimate Universe, in order to make their things different, 9 out of 10 stories have been about the characters failing. To be the biggest failure in a in a world where that's what the heroes do is saying something. Quantum and Woody number 4 is awesome. The goat is here, and he's just awesome. Every line that comes out of Woody's mouth is brilliant. This organization that they're fighting is brilliantly incompetent, and then we get some changing of sides and changing of the guards, and it's really, really good. It's not the old Quantum and Woody, but it is the old Quantum and Woody, and it's probably the best thing Valiant is doing. And Valiant doesn't have a bad book, so being the best of the best is awesome. So yeah, there's that. Justice League puzzle, Blue Beetle Booster Gold vibe, oh yeah! And I will leave you interwebs to whatever it is you were. Go about your business. Nothing to see here. Just a guy and his puzzle.